Hello, good afternoon, students. Here Sonu sir with a new video, class 7th SST on history portion. And students, in that we are taking our chapter 6, emergence of new regional kingdoms, part 3. Students, in previous video we have discussed up to our page number 66 of our course book, and in that we have discussed up to foreign invasions. And what is our topic related to? If we discuss, our topic is related to emergence of new regional kingdoms. What that means, after the decline of Mughal era, after the decline of Aurangzeb, the last powerful Mughal ruler. So in central he was a ruler, and when he declined or died, then his successors were not able to survive or maintain administration power of the rule in whole over the country. So that is why they had to lose their kingdoms and empires and regional kingdoms, and some new regional kingdoms, some new powerful regional kingdoms emerged themselves on the political throne and political view of country. And in that, some particular regimes and particular area started independently rule their area and regime, and disconnected themselves with the central power of Aurangzeb or Mughals after the death of Aurangzeb. So now we have to discuss that what were the regional kingdoms who emerged in this, and what were the reasons why that these regional kingdoms emerged, and what were some phenomena and instances had been happened and occurred in between that we are going to discuss. Students, we have been discussed in previous video about religious policies of Aurangzeb. We have discussed about weak successors of Aurangzeb and lack of control in both the empire and foreign invasion. So there were some reasons, and in that reasons foreign invasion was a prominent reason by the two kingdoms were in that time. When we see the map of India, there were Maratha kingdom at the same time and Mughal empire also. But we talk about the Maratha kingdom, they were not fully ruled, but they ruled nearby part of Gujarat, Maharashtra, and this up to southern India of Karnataka. So this region was of Maratha, and this north India was in hand of Aurangzeb, if we see at the last time of Aurangzeb. But somehow in the fight of both of them, they were not united and continuously in fighting in battle. So fighting of both of them made both of them, Marathas and Mughals, weak, and that is why if two cats fight with each other, always outsider monkey gained more profit. And like this story, students, outsider monkey means British entered in India in two cats fight of Aurangzeb and Mughals and Marathas. In this two cat fight, monkey named British entered, and weak successor of Aurangzeb were not able to cohesing and somehow ruling their regime and their country. And Marathas were also, after subsequent battles with Mughals, they were also in not very good situation. So students, there was a first invasion of Nadir Shah. Nadir Shah was ruler of Iran, that is Persia. Iran and Persia is same thing. And he was ruler of Iran, and he was ruler of Safavid dynasty. And Nadir Shah, an Iranian ruler, invaded. Page number 66 to students, page number, and topic is invasion of Nadir Shah. Nadir Shah, an Iranian ruler, invaded India and attacked Delhi in 1739. He plundered and looted India's wealth, taking away the famous Kohinoor and peacock throne of Shah Jahan. So there was a diamond named Kohinoor in peacock throne of Shah Jahan. If we talk about the history of Kohinoor, it was from Kolar mine, from Karnataka, and coal mine of Karnataka is there, Kolar, and from there we found Kohinoor diamond. But after that he went to Raja Ranjit Singh Punjab's ruler, and when Mughals, we talk about Mughals rule, somehow it was in hand of Shah Jahan. So after fight and after invasion of Nadir Shah, he plundered and looted our country, our capital Delhi, and he looted and stole our diamond Kohinoor from the throne, peacock throne of Shah Jahan, and he ruled near about 4 years, but finally he went back. But in 4 years he looted and plundered our so much wealth, and we became poorer and poorer. Then it was an next invasion of Ahmad Shah Abdali. Students, page number 67. Ahmad Shah Abdali, the ruler of Afghanistan, he was ruler of Durrani dynasty, attacked India 5 times between 1748 and 1768. He was ruler of Afghanistan and made capital Herat, and the already settled Mughal Empire was on the verge of collapse during this time. So as we know, it was a time of collapse and decline of Aurangzeb or Mughals empire. So seeing this situation, Ahmad Shah Abdali planned to attack on India, and the already settled Mughal empire was on the verge of collapse during this time. In the third battle of Panipat, fought between Ahmad Shah Abdali and Maratha, the latter was defeated and Ahmad Shah established a stronghold in India. So firstly, we talk about he entered from Afghanistan, that is north frontier of India. He defeated Mughal rulers in Delhi and North India, and he also defeated Nadir Shah, who was ruling for 4 years. Nadir Shah was also defeated by this Ahmad Shah Abdali. You have to understand. So Ahmad Shah Abdali made Nadir Shah to go out and also captured North Indian part. When he came to South India, he had to fight with Marathas at Panipat. This was third battle of Panipat, and in third battle of Panipat, which was fought between Maratha and Ahmad Shah Abdali defeated Marathas, and victory of Ahmad Shah Abdali started strong hold mark on the North Indian political condition of India. And we see mainly in the western part of Kashmir and some north part like Punjab and Kashmir was in hand of Ahmad Shah Abdali. Otherwise, this whole southern empire and middle India was not in hand of Ahmad Shah Abdali, but he established a stronghold in India. So continuous takeoff of the Ahmad Shah Abdali was there. Some one by one battles were fought there, and in that Ahmad Shah Abdali's power emerged more. And if we talk about Jagirdari crisis, so along with and despite with 2 invasions of Nadir Shah and Ahmad Shah Abdali, there was some extra reasons, some other reasons by which this decline of Mughal era was there and some new regional kingdoms emerged. So there was a topic, Jagirdari crisis. What is Jagirdari crisis, students? Under the Mughal administration, the Mansabdars were granted salaries either in cash or in the form of Jagirs. During the later Mughal period, due to successive wars, the treasury became empty and the payment of salaries in cash and granting of Jagirs became extremely difficult. The number of Mansabdars increased, but there was no increase in the number of Jagirs. The Jagirdari crisis that started the time of Aurangzeb became very acute during the period of later Mughals. So students, there was a crisis, Jagirdari crisis. This Jagir word means land. So students, there were some Jagirdars and some Mansabdars who were paid on salaries. Students, if there in place of salary, it was also given land or Jagirs to handle them on place of salary. But in the time of weak time of Mughal era or Mughal dynasty, Mansabdars were increased. The numbers of Mansabdar was increased. But if we talk about Jagirs and lands, it was in decreasing position because of the continuous decrease of empire in hand of some new emerged regional kingdoms, and only because of weak successors of Aurangzeb, land and Jagirs started decreasing in the hand of Mughals, and they were not able to pay Jagirs and salaries to the Mansabdars and accurate and acute Jagirs and Mansabs to Mansabdars, and by that and there were some successive wars, because after Aurangzeb there was a war of succession between sons of Aurangzeb, and in war of succession the economy and treasure also was in decline and was in loss, and we see this Jagirdari crisis started at the time of Aurangzeb, became very acute during the period of Uttara Mughals. So as we know this, there was Shivaji, rival of Aurangzeb. Because of him, they were not able to increase their land and Jagirs. But after the death of Aurangzeb, these Jagirs and land and rule became declining or shorter. This rule became declining or shorter. So by this that Mansabs and Jagirdars were not happy, because they were not taking impromptu or proper land or Jagirs as their salaries, and by there we can say there was a Jagirdari crisis, and these Mansabdars and Jagirdars also revolted against this, and they started some different roles and jobs, and they started to meet different independent regional kingdoms, and by which that the central power started declining or decreasing. Students, now next topic is coming of the British and French war. So students, first the conflict of Shivaji and Aurangzeb we saw, then after death of Aurangzeb, Marathas emerged more, but invasion of Nadir Shah, Marathas can somehow let him north to Delhi to Nadir Shah, but they cannot. Marathas could not stop to Afghanistan, the Afghani invaders, and by that we lost our establishment of northern India. Marathas lost the establishment of northern India, of Punjab and Kashmir, and Ahmad Shah Ali established strong power on northern part and northern region of our country. And after that there was also Jagirdari crisis. So totally there was not any central power who can rule promptly and accurately. So that is why students coming of British and French powers was there. So in the lack of administrator, lack of prominent ruler, British and French came. Thomas Roe visited India in 1615. Jahangir Singh, he sought permission to set up factories, and Jahangir granted the permission to do so. So Thomas Roe visited in India in 1615, and in Jahangir's reign he sought permission. Thomas Roe was British, so he sought permission to set up factories, and Jahangir granted permission to do so. So Jahangir granted permission to Thomas Roe to start factory of British in India. By 1769, the English became very powerful and established control over the European trade in India. And by this permission, and this permission was I think in year about 1600. But after this permission, after 129 year in 1729, British took control over the European trade in India. So by battles between French and British, between Portuguese and British, there was 100-year wars between French and British. But after 100-year wars, somehow British emerged or supreme power as a supreme power in India or Indians trade. So students, and this thing we have been reading in our previous chapters. In 1668, the French India Company set up their first French factory in Surat, and later in 1692 another factory in Chandranagar. So firstly, French started their establishment in India in Surat and Chandranagar. Chandranagar is in West Bengal, and the arrival of French Governor General Dupleix set the stage of rivalry between the English and the French who were controlling Indian trade. And students, it was time. Then Robert Clive, British Governor General, and Dupleix, French Governor General were in charges, and they started setting up their factories in different regions, and with the trade power they started also military power and started capturing of territories, and there were battles between French and British and to controlling Indian trade, and this fighting was up to 100 years. Then we see, so we start, before we start our page number 68, independent kingdoms, we have to do some more discuss on coming of British and French power. So students, British, Dutch, Portuguese and French came in India subsequently. Firstly Portuguese were in first position to come in India. After Portuguese there were French, then Dutch, then British. So students, these three powers, Portuguese, French and Dutch were not success as British. French were success somehow, but succession of 100 years and time passes of 100 years, somehow British emerged themselves more powerful than French, because Austrian War of Succession, and if we talk about Carnatic Wars, these two wars were happened in between British and French. This Carnatic War is the part of Tamil Nadu. In taking charge of that part, three consequent wars were fought there between French and British, and Austrian Succession War. So British favored their ruler in Austria and French favored their ruler in Austria, and British ruler won there. And somehow in Carnatic, like Hyderabad and Tamil Nadu, it was positioned that time that British favored a ruler and French favored a ruler, and fight of them, somehow British emerged more supreme power according to compare them French. So students, we concluded up to page number 65 in this chapter, emergence of new regional kingdoms, page number 67, and now in next video we will read page number 68. In this video's homework you have to write about the British and French wars with their dates, and in which areas and locations they had established their companies, you have to mention. Okay students, till then, have a nice day. Thank you.